What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks for supporting. But this video is entitled Be Proud of Your Story. Like, everybody's unique. Everybody has their upbringing. Everybody has their successes and struggles, but everybody isn't proud of their story. And what I mean by that is maybe some people had it too easy and some people had it too hard, and you got issues from both. But in order to accept yourself and sometimes be your best self, you have to be proud of your story. Like, I know where I was born, and I know how New Orleans. I'm proud to be born in New Orleans. I'm proud that my family's from the Ninth Ward. I'm proud of that. That's part of my story. Part of the things I learned as a child is from New Orleans. Never gonna take that away, and I don't want to change it for the world. I'm proud of the time I spent in the DMV. Taught me a whole lot about America as a country. Because when you live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you learn the difference between if the government is the government for the people, or do the people have to fend for themselves for real. If you're not in the loop, then you're on your own. I'm proud of Chicago. West Side is the best side. I don't want to hear that bullshit y'all talking if it ain't the West Side is the best side. But my moral compass, as a young man, from a teenager to a young man, came from Chicago, and this is why I don't. To a degree, I'm laid back, and to a degree, I'm always on 10, because that's just how the city is. Like, it's laid back and chill, but if you want to get to the business, we could just do it. Ain't no problem. And then I can go back to chilling, But I'm proud of my story, I'm proud of being black. I'm proud of my story. I'm proud of my history. I'm proud of my history as a people, and I'm also proud of my history in my own family, because I know the things that we've done and overcome, and the obstacles we've encountered in this country, even within my own family. I don't have to say, oh, this could have happened because I don't know my family history. No, I know a lot about my family history. So I know what kind of people we come from in a group sense and in a personal sense. So I'm proud of my story. You know, I'm proud to say that, I came up. I'm not. How can I say it? I'm proud to say that I understand that you can make something positive out of a negative upbringing. And what I mean by negative, I mean, to have a negative upbringing, sometimes you have to be. Okay, let me say it this way. My household was negative, but my family wasn't negative. So everybody who had a certain kind of upbringing has had people around them, or family or friends, who didn't live the same life per se, as far as dysfunction, as you do. So you got to see the difference between functional and dysfunctional. You got to see the difference between hard work paying off, and being a slouch coming back to bite you. So because I saw those things, I'm proud of my story, right? I know what I'm made of, because under certain circumstances in life, I was given a choice. I could choose this direction or that direction. And my internal, my soul is too would let me do certain things, and my soul wouldn't let me do certain things, no matter what it costs. I'm proud that I grew up around drugs before I was even. I mean, I grew up with drugs before. Yeah, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Like I knew drugs maybe right before that. Some of my earliest memories had to do with watching people drink, smoke, snort as a kid. And I'm proud to say I saw what people looked like and acted like, and how they would act on different substances. Because as I got older, I didn't gravitate to the gang life and the drug life, even though pretty much everybody that I grew up with, especially in Chicago, was gangsters. Pretty much the majority of everybody knew was in a gang, dealing, chiefs, leaders as they were in a sense. But I was beyond that because I saw it too much. I wasn't cool with it, and they knew that I wasn't gonna rock with it. But I was a neutron. I was never in a gang. Neutron means neutral. But all my friends was on both sides. On the right and the left. They was on them, and I hung out with them. And I would go in the neighborhood, wrong colors, everything. I don't care. I'm still like that to this day. I'm probably going back to Chicago this summer, and people ain't seen me in over a decade, and I'm gonna be right back in the same hood. Somebody gonna come, you got the wrong colors on. Shut up. Shut up. Tell me nothing. And these young boys will try to pull out if they okay. I'm not that kind of guy you want to try that with, because I'm gonna wait to tell you to shut up till I'm at your face. So when you try to pull out, I'm gonna crack you. Not gonna happen. I've been down this road too many times, bro. And I wasn't a big fighter back in the day when I was younger. Well, in the beginning, I was. I'm proud of that too. I'm proud to say, I'm proud of my story as to say, when I was younger, I learned how to fight at in the 5th grade. I literally one summer my dad hit me up to come to DC, and I learned how to box and fight that whole summer. And I knew I could hold my own weight. But I also learned that summer that if you get too good at kicking people's ass, they're gonna always bring somebody else. So even in Chicago, there were some fights that I won, and there were some fights that I lost. And guess what? Some of those fights I kind of held back on, because I'm like, if I beat your ass, you gonna call such and such. If I beat them, they gonna call such and such. It's gonna be a shootout, and I ain't got no gun. So some fights I knew, look, I took some L's. I took some L's because I just flat out lost. But I took some L's because it's like, man, all right. But if I catch you but I was one of those people. It just depended on the day and the situation, because I learned this, that if it's me and you and ain't nobody watching, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. That's how it's gonna go. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. But if it's a crowd, I got to do enough to get your respect to let you, so we're not gonna do this again. But I'm gonna do it. But if I gotta lose, because if you're a neutron and other people got gangs, let me tell you something. I've been in those situations where people have been on the porch 10, 20 deep waiting on me to come outside. Yeah, it'll get that real. My friends got me in situations where we ride in the back of a pickup truck looking like Smokey and Craig and Friday, because we getting chased with people with guns. It was that real. You learn some lessons. But I'm also proud I learned those lessons. But I've also learned bigger lessons, like to persevere in life, and sometimes you gotta have long-term thinking. Sometimes you can't just shine, okay? Sometimes it's not your time. Sometimes you need to. I'm proud to say that sometimes that I learned to be proud of other people because of my upbringing. Because everybody who comes from your neighborhood has to do a lot to make it. So I don't hate on people who make it. You graduate from college, you made it. You got a trade, you made it. You went to the military, you made it. Um, you didn't catch a charge, you made it. um, you kept your peace of mind, you made it. This is why I say be proud of your story, because you don't really understand how your upbringing affects your adult life, because what you fail to understand is, some of your greatest characteristics and life lessons and moral compass come from your childhood for the most part. And though you get older and wiser, you're pretty much who you were then. So to be able to be, when you accept who you are and you're proud of your story and you're confident in the things that you've learned from yourself and your story, you can move forward. Like my work ethic comes from wanting to get out of the neighborhood. I'm proud of that. I love the neighborhood, but I didn't want to live there for the rest of my life. And that's not because I disliked it per se. That's because when you move, like moving from the places I moved from, I saw people live differently. And I knew how I wanted to live, and I knew people weren't living like that where I was at. You get what I'm saying? So be proud of your story is all I'm going to say. Like, share, subscribe. We out. Peace. Catch you on the next one.